go for JT.
Sure, on scene, 3/4 of an acre. Light flashing fuel. Slow is, but we'll be able to handle with our first arriving unit here. We're going to start a mobile attack on the south side of the fire here. We'll establish tower IC.
I copy all that. Tower IC. So we have Recruit Erickson and Recruit Murray on a mobile attack. Ideally, that should be vegetation, not concrete. But what they're doing right now is they're going to mobile around the building. And again, what they should be doing is working with vegetation. So part of it, right side is going to be green or vegetation, left side's going to be fire. And they're just working that line, They're going to focus it all the way around, Looks like we got Erickson in the back, got Murray in front, man in the nozzle. Reach out, knock down the heat, bring the hose line back to their feet, reach back up, knock down some heat, and they're going to continue all the way around to their objective. And they're knocking some flames down, Working good. So next coming on scene is going to be our Type 1 engine. Captain Richard Tilch in the driver's seat. He's going to be doing what's called a forward lay. They're making access, or actually right now they're establishing a water supply for the engine. Recruit Valdez jumped out. He's going to pull supply hose. In this case it's going to be 4-inch hose. You'll see him in a moment. He'll wrap the hydrant. And then he'll send the engine. So what that means, when he gets to that position, engine goes away. If you notice, Valdez will work on connecting that hose to that hydrant. In the meantime, the engine stops and we'll have additional crews. You have 2 lines, 1 man by Chavez and 1 man by Rankin. That should be on your engineer side or the right side. They're going to grab hose line, they're going to also grab forcible entry tools, and they're also going to grab BAs. So they're SCBAs they put on their back. I believe that's Mr. Chavez pulling a pre-connect to that closed door, that single door. And then you have Recruit Clark pulling the other hose line to this double door. Their team, Clark's teamed up with Nimmo and Chavez is with Rankin. Both of them are getting forcible entry tools and they're going to try to get access to those doors. So what they're going to look for is if they get inside those doors, they're going to take the hose lines inside, put the fire out. So they're calling for water, charging the hose lines, getting suited up, putting their masks on. They're not going to enter until they're masked up, ready to go. What they should be doing here shortly is they're going to look for victims. If they find the victim, they're going to pull that victim out. So they're getting suited up, getting all their gear on. They got their SCBA on. Looks like 1 door's already popped. Nimmo and Clark will get this double door. Make sure they got water to the nozzle. So they did find a victim, Recruit Garcia. They saved Recruit Garcia. Now they're going to go ahead and continue their activities on the fire, fight the fire aggressively, advance hose lines in. So we've ordered additional resources. We brought in a truck crew. Truck crew is going to provide access, assist with access, ventilation, and they're also going to provide an aerial master stream, so large water. So we have Recruit Bowman and Larson with forcible entry tools. They're going to head over and they're going to try to pop open that door to access it in preparation to find any victims. So now we have recruit Holt and Kumo. They're going to place a blower at that door. Recruit Bowman and Larson forced open that door so they made it accessible. Looks like recruit Kumo is going to open the door. Holt's getting the blower in position. They've already established an exit or exhaust. By doing that and that blower at that front door, it'll push all of the smoke and hot gases out of their exit hole. We now have recruit Mears and recruit Smith. They're cutting a roll-up door in a commercial building. Why, you ask? To make access. They're going to give crews access to get inside the building. So once again, they can look for victims. Once again, they can advance hose lines to pull victims out and to put the fire out. Additionally, we have a rescue team. Recruit Fiddle, Williams, and Felix are shooting up right now, masking up to access where the blower is so they can look for victims. We also have recruit Vera and recruit Martin on scene with their ambulance to take any victims that we have to pull out. Recruit Ramirez right now just put a magnificent 5 into some corrugated metal. And now I can only imagine that recruit Smith is going to put a fantastic number 7 in that metal, that door. All right, looks pretty good, looks pretty good. So we're kind of wondering how our rescue team's doing. If Friddle, Williams, and Felix have hopefully found somebody. If they have, hopefully they'll be pulling out here pretty quick. All right, here they come. Looks like they got somebody. Looks like they got somebody. My guess it's Pubian. It is. It's recruit Pubian. So they'll pull him out. Start providing as much as possible some medical attention, taking his BA off. Take him away. Pubian's in good hands right now. And now we're going to need the truck to do some more work. We got a 24 crew. Mr. Chiros and Mr. McCauley are going to go ahead and put a 24-foot ladder. It's a 2-person ladder raise. They're going to set it up over here at the residential prop for some vertical ventilation. Additionally, we have a second crew of Feria and also Mr. Jones. They're bringing another 24-foot ladder and setting up for vertical ventilation. Feria and Jones are putting their ladder up. Looking good. Our cutting crews are Mr. Knopf and Clevenstein. They'll go ahead and get in position, make sure they have a good working chainsaw, which they'll start it before. They'll get suited up, they'll mask up. Looks like we have the cutting crew. The second cutting crew is Swafford and Slyke. They're all getting suited up, and they should be making their way shortly up the ladder. And the goal for this would be, again, with ventilation, 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 they're going to cut holes in the roof. And what that essentially does is it allows all the smoke and the heated gases to exit the residents of the building. You saw earlier horizontal ventilation where you put a blower at the front door. It's the same principle, same principle. You want to push that smoke, you want to push those heated gases out of the structure as quickly and as fast as you possibly can in a coordinated effort. So our guys, our cutting crew are going to the roof. They're doing a great job sounding. I believe that's Knopf on the right. Or, excuse me. So they're making their way up to the residential prop, up to the roof, stepping off. What they're doing is they're maintaining contact to the structural member. The person in front is sounding and making sure they never lose contact of that member. That's the safest part of the roof. There should be fire underneath them or close to it. When they get in a good position, they're going to switch roles and they'll proceed to cut a hole. Residential hole, at least a 4 by 4 foot hole or opening. We do louver cuts. So a louver cut is going to basically, it's going to be affixed to that member. And once they're done cutting, you'll be able to see when they push that roof through or set it up in a louver position, it's going to open up, which will allow all the heated gases and the smoke to exit the structure. So you notice that they're trying to get rid of the ceiling. Again, to open that up, to get rid of the smoke. They're breaking through. Good louver cut. They're sounding their way off of the building. So we currently have 2 35s. We have Mr. Meyer, Calavita, and we also have Mr. White on 135, which is the crew that you're seeing now. Meyer, White, and Calavita. They're prepping and they're putting that ladder in position for horizontal ventilation. So what their goal is they're going to set the ladder up, they're going to extend it, depending upon where their objective is the 3rd floor. So Calavita is going to go ahead and pull the halyard up and extend it to a high enough position where they'll be able to do horizontal ventilation. Once it's in position, they're going to ladder it in. They'll tie it off. Set it up. They'll reposition it if they need to. We have our second 35 group. Their objective is the 3rd floor again, and they're going to want to access that 3rd floor window. They want to get inside that building. So I have Recruit White on the existing 35. He's getting in position to pop that window or break that window, which does one of 2 things. One, it'll give access to the second crew, but more specifically for him and for that evolution, they're popping that window to open up the window to basically get heated gases and smoke to exit. Which again is called horizontal ventilation, excuse me. Second 35-foot crew is going to be Doyle, Baez, and Perkins. Perkins B. Pretty good spot, pretty good spot. Good crew right there, good crew. So we have our second team whose objective is to access the building. Mr. Doyle, Baez, and Perkins B. We got Mr. Valdez climbing up. It looks like we had Baez already enter. I think there's been a switch of personnel. I have a feeling that the initial forward lay was done by somebody else, and not Mr. Valdez. So make a note as you watch the video. Family members, my apologies. They did a switch on me. So right now it's Doyle, Valdez, and Perkins. Perkins is climbing up the ladder. We already have Doyle and Valdez inside the building, which leads me to believe that Baez did the forward lay in the very beginning on the hydrant. So we got Mr. White. He broke that window open, did a great job, and now he's working his way down. So now our initial crew that made access into the building, they're going to make their way down, which consists of Mr. Doyle, Mr. Valdez, and Mr. Perkins B. So making their way down. The other crew, horizontal ventilation, is actually retracting the ladder. They've done their job, and now they're simply going to put that ladder back on the apparatus and wait for another assignment. Mr. Doyle's making his way out of the window. It's beneficial that you're smaller in this scenario because the window's as small as it is. So over on the aerial, we got recruit Mealy. He's climbing the aerial right now. It's in position for what we call an aerial master stream. 100-foot ladder. What we want to do is put a lot of water on it. At this point, we've probably lost the offensive fight, and now we're basically going to protect exposures, or it's big enough where we just want to put a lot of water on it, put the fire off. So that's where he's getting in position right now. Once he gets up there, he's going to lock in, and he's going to wait till the time is right to call for water. The nozzle on that aerial flows 1,250 gallons, and more than likely, knowing the situation, he'll be flowing about 900 gallons per minute. So up on top of the tower, we have recruit Hoyt, Perkins A, Peterson, and Booten. Looks like now we got Mr. Booten coming down the right side. Pretty good form, making good progress. Nice job. Until he reaches the bottom. Disconnect, click out. Last but not least, we got Mr. Hoyt up on top, and he's going to make his way down, dealing with a couple obstacles like windows. Let's see how he does. Nice job, nice job. Doing a good job. All right. We've successfully exited the building. All firefighters are accounted for and out of the structure. You got Booten DCing, and then you got Mr. Hoyt doing the same thing. That means that everybody has to exit the building. That means we're going from an offensive strategy to a defensive strategy. Offensive strategy to a defensive strategy. Offensive strategy to a defensive strategy. Which translates to a lot of water. We got Mr. Brosnan and Mr. Holt with a exposure line to the west of the building. We got Mr. Mealy again up on the aerial. They'll be flowing water here pretty soon. All right, so we're gonna put this fire out. We got water coming from all angles. Mealy again is up on, Mealy is again up on the aerial. We got Mr. Sargis, hopefully not wetting the crew up on the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the 57th Basic Fire Academy. They did a great job, family members. Wish you guys could be here. Unfortunately, under circumstances, you cannot. But hopefully, if nothing else, this provides a little bit of insight into what your loved one has been doing for kind of the last 6 months. Obviously, there was an interruption, but they've been working very, very hard, doing great things. And hopefully this goes to show in a nice tight little package what they have been doing. They want to do this out of appreciation for you guys and to give you a better idea. So hopefully that does. But thanks for lending your loved ones to us. I am more than happy to give them back to you. They're a good group of people and they've done a fantastic job. So thanks, family members. Appreciate it very, very much. Stay safe.